I'm now going to show you how to make the tea set. Like all the other Jenigami designs, this comes in two colourways or plain black and white. This is an example of the plain black and white template. Now you actually get the teapot and a teacup and a wee saucer to put the teacup on. All my black and white designs come in either a thin line or a thick line, so you can choose to cut whichever one you find easier to look at. What I've done is I've printed off one of the colourways and I've started to cut it out. So this is the teacup parts that are left that I haven't cut out yet. And what you get on here is you get a back and a front to the design. So you can actually glue them together and then your design becomes double-sided. You will see that in the parts that I've started to do here. This is the main part of the teapot. There's a large section and then there is 4 smaller sections, and this is what's required to make the teapot. Now I've cut out the front and the back of the coloured card and I've glued them together. This not only makes it a little bit stronger, but gives you a really nice finish to the product. Now to make this teapot, we're going to take the main teapot section and we're going to take the larger part. You can see this is slightly larger than all the other parts. We take the larger part. Now the teapot has a hole at the bottom here and 2 holes at the top. This larger part is the opposite. It has 1 hole at the top and 2 holes at the bottom. We're going to take the hole at the top here and the hole at the bottom on the teapot, and we're going to slot these together. And there we have the main cross that we're going to use to start building our Jenigami teapot. We're then going to take these 4 sections and split them into 2 groups. These 2 have 1 hole at the top and 2 at the bottom, and these 2 have 1 hole at the bottom and 2 at the top. We're going to take the ones with 1 hole at the bottom and we're going to slot these either side of the teapot lid, straight down. So you then have 3 parts going in one direction and the teapot going in the opposite direction. What you have at the front here now, the larger section that you first attached to the teapot has a hole at the very bottom of it, and the parts either side of it have a hole at the top here. We're going to attach one of these by sliding it up through the large part in the middle and then slotting these 2 edges here over the outside edges. Let me show you how we're going to do that. I'm just going to tip this up and we're going to slot this up through the centre onto the large part that first crossed with the teapot. You can see that that's in there now, but it's kind of not folding flat because you have a hole at the bottom of this section and a hole at the top of this section, and what we need to do is bend the card so that these 2 actually slot over each other. Now people get a little bit nervous at this part because they think they're going to ruin their card, but card can bend quite easily, and just slot them together and then do exactly the same at the other side. Just bend your card parts and slot them over and under each other. Hopefully you can see how I did that. I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. I'm going to take this section and I'm going to slot it straight up through the middle here into this middle part here. Right, and as you can see, there's 2 holes at the bottom here, and there's a hole at the top here and a hole at the top here. We need to slot these edges over each other by bending the card. Once you've done that, fold your design flat and turn it the other direction and fold it flat again, and that'll get everything to fall nice and tightly into place. And then you're left with the cutest little Jenigami teapot, and you can make the teacup in exactly the same way. They fold perfectly flat for putting inside a card, inside a scrapbook pocket, or just sending as a gift to someone, and they don't have to put them together. All they have to do is open them up and they have a lovely little 3D design.